Oh, that was a good sleep, but I never used to be able to say that, and this is why. Hey, I'm Dan. I have Asperger's syndrome, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia. I make weekly videos on autism and Asperger's. So if you're new around here and want to learn more, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so YouTube notifies you when I upload a video, and hit that like button if you're watching on Facebook. Okay, at the beginning of every video, I always want to ask you to ask me questions on Instagram, and then I'll read them out and you can be featured in a video just like this. So if you want to be featured in a question and answer like this, make sure to go and follow me on Instagram. My name is above here and the link is in the description below, so make sure to click that. Follow me on Instagram and then you'll be aware of when I put up a story asking you to ask me questions to be featured in a video. Okay, let's go. So first question is from Ben Colton, and they said, why do my sensory overloads happen so frequently and what can I do to help it? Sensory overloads are something that's very, very common within autism, and it's because your brain is wired that way. The neurological paths are wired to be over or under stimulated by sensory input. The best way to hack this is to use things like a sensory diet. Now, I did a video on that, so I will leave that in a card above so you can see that video talking about ways to help overcome sensory overloads and inputs. But two hacks straight off the bat is noise cancelling headphones and sunglasses. Okay, so the next question is from IWP Princess, and they said, what is your biggest worry for children growing up with autism? Now, that's a great question. My biggest worry would be lack of understanding for people to be fair and not judging for kids growing up with autism. So I know when I was a kid, people used to think I was like some kind of freak, and I got bullied when I was in primary school, and it's not nice, you know, people thinking you're weird without any understanding. You know, different is not less, as we all know. So I would say that my biggest worry is for that. But channels like this and Fathering Autism and all the other awesome channels that we have right now, like the Chapman family, raising awareness and doing everything they can to make sure that people know what autism is going to change all that for the future. So hopefully my worry will dissipate as we move with this channel to be building up something awesome here. Okay, the last question is from Fathering Autism, and they said, eye contact, does it really matter socially speaking? It's a great question, and I would say no. And the reason I say that is because I don't like making eye contact with people. I can't make eye contact with some people, especially not on social situations, and I kind of look to like their cheek or their forehead or like their shoulder area, or like quite past them or down past them, and this works out absolutely fine, and I feel like I get along well. Look, I don't need to look at somebody to identify who they are. I hear their voice and I remember who they are, and I look at their shoes and I remember their shoes. I know it sounds a bit weird, but that's how I do it. So I would say no, eye contact is not a must. So after long-term use, did the melatonin help me sleep better with autism? Yeah. So I have autism and I've been taking melatonin for quite a while, and I'm going to tell you guys if it worked in the long term. So basically I have had trouble sleeping. So because of, like, I've got Asperger's syndrome and it comes with ADHD. Well, in my case it does anyway. I know a lot of people who also have Asperger's syndrome also have ADHD. Now the issue with ADHD is that I don't take any medication for it, so it can sometimes keep me up at night. And I just wanted to do an update video really on how I've managed to help control my sleeping patterns. Using melatonin. So a company called Yummy Nutrition sent me this box of melatonin sweets or gummies or whatever you want to call them, and I did a video on that, reviewing them and talking about my night's sleep. I'll put a link to that in the card above and in the description below so you can check that out. And yeah, I reviewed it and I realized that yeah, it's pretty cool, and it did indeed help my sleep. And I was just looking at raw data. Now initially I was looking at raw data of like how I slept the night before and how I slept the night after taking melatonin. Now I didn't realize how much of an effect they actually had on my sleep patterns in my life until this week. Okay, so here's a story. I've been taking these melatonin gummies, which are strawberry flavor and smell amazing. Oh, so good. I've been taking these 2 a night, like it says, for, well, I don't know, maybe a month or so, since they actually sent me the gummies. Now, a couple of nights ago, I was gonna not take the gummies because Naomi, my partner, was having some difficulty with the baby. The baby wasn't sleeping as much, and we thought we might have a difficult night. And because of that, I said, look, don't worry, I won't take the gummies, so I'll be in a lighter sleep, and then I'll get up and help out a little bit more because obviously I'm doing like YouTube work during the day, so Naomi kind of looks after the baby, and so I get like to sleep at night, and then I get up really early with the baby. That's how it works. So that's how we were gonna do it, but I didn't take the gummies, and then we tried to go to sleep. Now, usually, I lay down and I kind of like talk for a few minutes, and then I can just close my eyes and go to sleep whilst taking the gummies. What I'd forgotten was that before ever taking melatonin gummies to help me sleep, my sleeping pattern was put to heck. Like, I used to go to sleep and I'd sit there thinking about crazy stuff. I'd be like, okay, so if I do this, thinking about like SEOs, obsessing over like crazy stuff. And I would never get to sleep because I'd sit there for hours. It would keep me awake, just thought chatting my brain, just. And then I didn't take the gummies, and I was sitting there in bed, and I was just like ADHD time, like overdrive. I was just talking to Naomi. Naomi's like, dude, you need to like just chill and go to sleep. I'm like, oh, crazy. So then she was like, okay, why don't you take the gummies to help you get to sleep, and I'll wake you up if I need your help. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went downstairs and I grabbed the gummies, and then I took 2 of them, came upstairs, and within about 20 minutes, knocked out, asleep, superb. Now, I am, interested in the long-term kind of use of these things, and how would it help my sleeping pattern on the long haul, you know? And I would say that melatonin has just crazy changed my life for sleeping. It's amazing. Like, I used to have such a difficulty actually getting to sleep, and it was just like, it was like the most difficult thing in the world. It was testing as well. You have to sit there and oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna try and go to sleep, and you're forcing yourself to kind of go to sleep, and then but you can never go to sleep because your mind will be going 1,000 miles an hour thinking about all the kind of crazy stuff you want to do and all the things that you haven't done and things that you have done before, and it's like, what on earth? I shouldn't be thinking about these things when I'm trying to go to sleep. So because of that, I now have like a really good sleeping pattern, and I get a really good sleep quality out of my sleep, which is pretty amazing. I found that like really helpful. In terms of the melatonin, I'm going to continue to take these, and I have about 2 or 3 months worth of the melatonin gummies, and they're vegan as well, which is kind of cool. So I got 2 or 3 months worth of these ones to get through before I decide to get any more. And I prefer taking the gummies because it's kind of something nice to look forward to. You don't really like clunking pills all the time, because I take a bunch of vitamins in the morning, but I feel like the CBD gummies are way nicer to take because they're just like these little sweets that taste really nice. So yeah, like I said, I've done a video on these before. If you want to buy your own melatonin gummies, then I've got a link for 20% off in the description below. Like I said, this isn't like a repeat video of what I've done before. This is more like an update video on how like it's changed my sleeping patterns like crazy good, and I find that just fascinates me. So from now on, I feel like I'm gonna have really good sleeping patterns because the ability to actually fall asleep at night. Also, I must tell you guys that this pillow I'm sleeping on right here now is a memory foam pillow, and I've got a video on that coming up soon. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to make sure you get the next video in this sleep series. And if you haven't seen the other ones, then go check my channel out for the playlist on autism and sleep. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.